A lot of the people joking about this sort of thing certainly aren't helping either. The most frustrating thing about this is that 99% of the things people bring up are either not plot holes in the slightest, or things that are explicitly explained and just outright ignored by people. Surprising amount of times is asking what happened to Joseph's clackers, since the clackers were broken by Wired Beck. Finally, an idea that a lot of people seem to bring up is that Araki forgot about cars. I really don't understand why people would think this, since it was made very clear that Cars went insane and stopped thinking during his time in space. Seen using a painting while he attacks Jotaro. He paints over Jotaro's leg, and Jotaro is attacked in the same spot. Many people ask why he never used this painting ability again. This is another one that confuses me. The painting was never a part of his ability. It was just an attack from Hierophant Green. Kakyoin even destroys the painting afterwards, hinting that it has nothing to do with his ability. When Rubber Soul is disguised as Kakyoin, he is shown using Hierophant Green to attack the robber. For some reason, people view this as a plot hole, despite Yellow Temperance being a blob that can shapeshift into anything he wants. It's Darby. Joseph enters a bet that involves dropping coins into a glass, trying not to be the one to make it spill over. I've seen multiple people asking why he didn't use Hamon to keep the liquid inside the glass. This has a very easy answer. Everyone, including non-Hamon users, can see Hamon. The first topic is one that I've seen a huge amount of people bring up: Josuke fixing things incorrectly. Early on, some things like the bully's face and Jotaro's hat are fixed incorrectly, but later on this is apparently forgotten, and he is shown to just fix things perfectly. First thing he is ever shown fixing is the turtle, which was fixed perfectly. Jimura began searching for stand users to try and find one capable of killing his father. After Josuke meets him, he says that he can help him find one capable of curing him instead. I have seen many people ask why Josuke didn't cure him. First of all, it is directly stated that Crazy Diamond is not capable of curing diseases. People seem to think that since Holly's stand went away after Dio's defeat, Josuke's would have too. I think the first problem with this is that people think Holly's stand just went away. After Dio was defeated and the distress signal from Jonathan's body was gone, her stand would return to a dormant state. This is similar to Giorno in Part 5, who would have gone through a similar thing. Gold Experience was still in Giorno as a subconscious ability, but did not fully appear until his teenage years. This would be the same for Josuke, who would also gain the resolve needed to have a stand after being inspired by the man who saved him. Part 5 is introduced to us by Koichi, who has been sent to Italy by Jotaro to investigate Giorno. For whatever reason, his inclusion is confusing to people, who think that Josuke should have been sent instead. Jotaro experienced firsthand that he and Joseph could sense Jonathan's body nearby. If he or Josuke went to approach Giorno, it is very possible that they would be sensed by him as well. Some people have asked how Giorno got a hold of the spirit photograph that Joseph took of Dio. However, this is an error that exists only in the anime adaptation, since the manga uses a completely different picture. Illuso mentions that stands can interact with people, but not the other way around. Shortly after this, he is shown touching Moody Blues and interacting with it. This is another error only present in the anime, since in the manga, he is still touching Abakio himself. After Bruno is defeated by King Crimson, Giorno is shown making a second Coco Jumbo, which still has access to its stand ability. Some people have asked how this is possible, and why Giorno did not make more creatures with stands. Giorno specifically says that he made this turtle using the cells of the original. The first thing people mention is why Jolene needed the stand arrow to awaken her stand, instead of getting it from Jonathan's body being pierced like the other Joestars. This is an example of what I'm talking about. How could Jolene have possibly gotten a stand from Jonathan's body being pierced when she wasn't even born until years after that event? Jolene first meets Emporio, he gives her a bone to hold on to, and warns her to not enter the visitor's room. A huge amount of people have said that this scene was never expanded on, and some even say Emporio's warning is some kind of dropped plot point involving Made in Heaven. Others have even thought that this is Dio's bone, despite it looking completely different. This is yet another example of what I mean. Emporio directly explains exactly what the purpose of this bone was. The bone belonged to his mother, who was killed by Whitesnake. People have said that Poochie should only be able to take stand and memory disks. I don't see why people could think his power has such an arbitrary limit when it was never established that that was all that Whitesnake could do. During the flashback with Poochie and Dio, it appears to be daytime outside of the window. Many people ask how this is possible when Dio is a vampire. This is a mistake in the color scans made by Shueisha. Araki has nothing to do with the color choices made here. In the original black and white, the outside of the window is white. Some people still refuse to accept this explanation, and have said that since it is white outside the windows, it must be daytime. This is not true, since there are dozens of other scenes that we know take place at night, still using a white background. I've seen others ask why the characters didn't open the fridge to stay cold. These people don't seem to know how a fridge works. A fridge doesn't just pump out cold air, it cools by absorbing the heat from inside the fridge.